Well, China has been giving President Tsai a hard time during her term in office. But the U.S., on the other hand, has shown much support. Could the two superpowers be taking sides in Taiwan's elections? Well, I asked former U.S. National Security Advisor Steve Yates about this. He gives us his perspective on what kind of candidate the U.S. would prefer to win Taiwan's election.
Now, Yates is a strong supporter of Taiwan, and he's the CEO of a political risk consultancy called DC International Advisory. Let's have a look at this interview.
Well, do you think that, since President Tsai is close to the U.S., and the other candidate from the KMT is seen to be close to China, because, pro-China media gives them lots of coverage, do you think that the U.S. would prefer a candidate like Tsai that's closer to the U.S. than China?
Well, I don't think there's any question that if the U.S. government is looking at its own interests, if the description is accurate, that you've got a choice of a candidate that is leaning more China and sort of skeptical of the U.S., or a candidate that is leaning more towards the U.S. and skeptical of China, it's in the American interest to support the candidate that wants to be our best friend. Now, I have my own personal priorities that I try to advocate to our government and people who deal with Taiwan. I say, look, I'm less interested in which political party is putting forward the candidates or who the candidates are, but I care a great deal that the candidates understand the nature of the Chinese Communist Party, and they need to be fan gong, they need to be against communism. They need to want to be America's best friend. And then they should be advocating kind of a Trump-like Taiwan first kind of approach to making sure that they're taking care of their own people, bringing opportunity back to Taiwan. And if they have that mindset, that will work very, very well with what our government is trying to accomplish. And I think that would be another period of growth. And so if the DPP candidate, the KMT candidate, or independent candidates can meet those three conditions, I think the U.S. is happy with any of them. But if there are candidates that really steer in the wrong direction on any one of those three areas, well, then I think we start to have questions about, is it really good for us? But what can the U.S. do? All it can do is maybe say some things, maybe grant some meetings, but our influence on the outcome here, I think, is less decisive than people might imagine. I mean, there's an awful lot of voters that go to the polls and they don't ask Uncle Sam first, what should I do?